Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. And once again, coming to you with some sad news. And we have lost another person in our community who meant so much to our community. And if we could bring up his picture, there you see Mr. Arthur Robert Wootsie Cenac Jr. And of course, he was born in 1938 and passed away on September 29th, 2024. He was a native and resident of Houma, and he passed away peacefully in his home, surrounded by his family, on Sunday, September 29th. And he, of course, had a mass celebrated for him on Friday, October 4th at St. Francis de Sales Cathedral, and a private burial will be held at a later time. He is survived by his children, Bobby Cenac and Denise, Barry Cenac, Laurie Pellegrin and husband Tommy, Craig Cenac, Karen Calhoun and Donnie, and Matt Cenac and Becky. 14 grandchildren, 20 great-grandchildren, 1 great-great-grandchild, and Eula Calloway, a close family friend. He was preceded in death by Arthur Robert Tootie Cenac Sr., his father, Olympe Labie Cenac, mother, Dorothy King Escalante, sister, and George A. Escalante, brother-in-law, and Peggy Segal Cenac, his wife. Wootsie was a lifelong advocate for Houma in Terrebonne Parish. After receiving his degree in petroleum engineering from Louisiana State University in 1959, he held several positions working in oil field services through 1972, noting that one of his favorite satisfactions in life was the successful completion of a productive oil well. From 1976 to his death, he managed and invested in several real estate projects, primarily the development of Houma's Village East community. Wootsie was a member of the Terrebonne Sportsman League, Ducks Unlimited, and was a past king in the crew of Houmas. And I'll stop right there because I have more to read, but I got to see Mr. Wootsie Cenac at least a couple of times a year for the King's Luncheon at Copeland's every year. And also, we would go to the Tableau, and he made the last one that I was able to attend. I think it was year before last. Wasn't able to make last year's, but he was such an integral part of Mardi Gras. And I remember we brought our cameras to Copeland's for one of those King's Luncheons. I'm glad we did, because although it's relatively short clip, even with his health failing at the time, he wanted to go to the luncheon and experience it again, and we caught up with him with our cameras. What year were you king?
1988.
And how was your ride?
The ride was terrific. Had good weather and everything went fine.
Good. You enjoyed it. You enjoyed coming to this every year?
Oh, yeah. This is my carnival.
There it was, Wootsie Cenac, and I'm glad we got to chat. And during those luncheons, we would always listen in, and it was good for, I'll say, younger kings, although I'm getting to be one of the intermediate ones now. We would listen to the older gentlemen talk about when they were king and what it was like and what times have changed. And they were so traditional in their presentation. It was certainly always good to talk to Mr. Wootsie about his experiences. He spent his life hunting, fishing, and traveling, all passions he shared with his children and grandchildren. Mr. Wootsie loved to cook for his family at home and at the camp. and many of Mr. Wootsie's favorite memories were from time spent with family and friends during summers at Timberlake Island and winters at Blue Hammock, his true occupation. In lieu of flowers and funeral reception contributions, Wootsie asked that memorial donations be made to your favorite charity with fond memories. And once again, Mr. Wootsie Cenac, a very integral part of Terrebonne Parish, and a lot of his offspring. I went to school with one of them, and certainly my siblings went to school with some of the others. In the Folse family, it was very odd not to have a Cenac in one of our classes. There were so many, and I know a lot of them are carrying on the torch and doing things in the community, and we appreciate it. But Mr. Wootsie, when he would talk, he was so passionate about Mardi Gras. Like I said, when we were at those King's luncheons, and he would get the floor, and you got to remember, we were in there, some of us past Kings, and we were looking at people like Mr. Wootsie Cenac and Mr. Artigo and S.P. LaRussa and Mr. Ken Watkins. And, of course, there were some that passed away long before them. But when they would get up to speak about their experience with Mardi Gras, Mr. Logan Babbitt, we would all listen. Everybody would stop and listen because, that was such a big deal. It was such a big part of the community. And when you were king of the Mardi Gras functions, man, that was giant in the community. And certainly now, Mardi Gras has grown to be the second largest in the state of Louisiana. So we just wanted to remember Mr. Wootsie. He was an integral part of our community. And we just wanted to say and pass on our condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Wootsie Cenac. May he rest in peace. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.